Hello everyone and welcome back to my Warhammer 40k guides. I am Brady and today I will be discussing a few topics. First, I will be talking about trading units and then we will talk about flanks and kill zones, or also known as killboxes. Let's first get into the concept of trading units in a game of Warhammer 40k. With the current rules and armies in 8th edition, units tend to die very quickly, and you've probably also noticed that most of the time when one of your units charge in, they might kill something, but then they proceed to be either shot down or charged the next turn, and then they die. This is called a trade. So let's make a quick example of some berserkers charging into the enemy Astra Militarum gun line. In this example, there are some tanks behind a couple layers of screening guardsmen. The berserkers declare charges against both units of guardsmen. They get a charge off on one of the units of guardsmen and just annihilate them in close combat. So now they consolidate forward, but they do not get close enough to pull in the other unit that was behind them. Now on the enemy guard's turn, they just fire into the berserkers with a few units and kill all of your berserkers. So in this instance, you just traded out 170 points of your army for only 40 points of theirs. Basically in chess terms, you just gave up a rook to kill a pawn. Small trades like this happening over and over and over again eventually turn into a massive advantage. Trades also happen with shooting too, but on a larger scale. You can bait your opponent into shooting some of your cheaper units because that's all they can reach or they can see with their range, and then you move in your better stuff and just annihilate their better units. A lot of advantages can be gained by outspacing your opponent and by forcing them to walk into your kill zones, which segues into the next segment of this video. Flanks and kill zones, or kill boxes. First, let's talk about kill zones or kill boxes. Both terms work. A kill box is basically a fancy way for saying you're in range of all of the enemy weapons, which of course is really bad because the more units that can shoot at your unit, the better chance the enemy has of killing your unit. In this example, we have a greater demon advancing up the board to get closer to the enemy to be able to charge on the following turn. In this example, I put the demon in the kill zone of the enemy team. Every unit, or almost every unit in their army, can fire at this greater demon, and most likely it will die before it even gets to accomplish anything. Now in this other example, I choose to have the greater demon go up the flank. A flank is basically running around your enemy from either behind them or the sides instead of running directly at them. So in this example, you can see only some of the enemy weapons are now in range to shoot at my demon, meaning it has better chances of survival for the next turn. This doesn't guarantee its survival, but it does help its chances. Another way to use flanks is to flank on the side that's farthest away from the weapons that are going to hurt your unit the most. So for this example, let's say your opponent has a bunch of anti-tank on their right side, and only anti-infantry on their left side. Then you would want your greater demon running up the left side to avoid all the anti-tank, and you want your infantry running up the right side to avoid all the opponent's anti-infantry. Of course, there are more variables that go into making this decision. It's not so black and white, but it still gives you a bit of an idea on the concept on how to make this work. If you flank correctly, you can sweep the enemy team from one side of the board to the other and usually force them into a corner or a small section of the board. And if you force them to move up into the middle of the board, then they are entering your kill zone, which almost ensures victory. You almost never want to run headfirst into your enemy because you'll always be running into a kill zone. So instead, using flanks are your better options, whether that's deep striking or just running up the side of the board and using terrain to your advantage. Sure, running directly at the enemy is the quickest way to get in range for all your guns or to get into charge range, but it also puts you in a bad spot where everything they own can target you. So use your game knowledge to determine what is the safest route to get your guys in range to do what they need to do. Well anyways, that about covers it for today's video. Sorry this wasn't a long one, but I've been extremely busy in this last week, so I figured I'd cover something that was quick, but still very helpful. If you guys liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more Warhammer 40k content. And if you really like the channel and want to help it grow, you can support us on Patreon. A pledge of $4 gets you into the Almost Pro Gaming Discord channel, where we talk about strategies, upcoming codexes, models, leaks, and we even do list critiquing by either myself or one of the other Almost Pro gamers. Or there is a $2 option for those that like the channel but don't necessarily care about the Discord. Well, anyways, thanks for watching the video. I hope I was able to teach you something, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy wargaming.